we go to the WNBA, where the league returns tomorrow. And if people are new to this, if you're unfamiliar, this has historically been one of the model's most profitable sports. We've been kind of trying to evangelize this as betting in the WNBA has become more and more commonplace. And I'm looking forward to the return of this emerging league. How about you?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. We've had some really good success on Dimers with this league in the 2 years we've had it. Really awesome run of first basket success the first season. A very famous all three edges hitting one night, and some massive wins in the Discord. So probably some of our biggest stuff we've ever hit there. 3 of 4 finalists in the playoffs last year that we called in our preseason look, as well as picking the Aces with an edge at their season low price of plus 2,000, end up winning. Really, really good model success so far with this league. Can't wait for it to come back for sure. Just going to take a quick, very light overview of the futures. It's not our most expansive offering. We've got just futures, trends, props, bets. We do have the projections hub. It was actually one of our early projections hub features. So we'll just take a quick look at the futures, kind of touch on a couple of the top teams that we have in here. Not a lot of value, but there are some, insights to take away, I guess. So let's pull these up here, and I'm just going to run through the top 4 and then a couple other things, and we'll move on. But got the Liberty at the top, plus 230, 20.9% probability would make them fair, much closer to about plus 400. This is a stacked team. The lineup is big, very, very tall players here. They're going to be a tough beat most nights. They will be without Sabrina Ionescu for a spell. They do have a new coach. It's possible that their odds only get shorter unless they really struggle, which is probably unlikely. But you're getting well off the fair price here at their best odds before the season. So the model is kind of, a bit of a stay away, except as far as probability is concerned. Aces, second highest here at 15%. Championship or bust. They are just cementing themselves as like maybe the best dynasty ever. Asia Wilson's making a case for best player of all time. Kind of surprised they aren't closer to the Liberty in odds, to be honest. All the way out at plus 440, almost pushing double the odds of the Liberty. Little off fair value. They would be about plus 560 for that. But I mean, for how good this team is, I don't think we'll see them fall to like last year's low. They had some struggles and then they corrected that, and then they went on to win the championship. I think the books are going to be less hesitant or more hesitant rather, to tax them for maybe a mid-season slump or so. Fever in third here at 13.8%. Might finally be the year for them. They won't, in the Caitlin Clark era, I guess, they won't get fair odds unless you can get them at plus 625. Made it all the way to the semis last year, despite Caitlin Clark being hurt much of the season. They did return pretty much all their top stars. They should be right up there all year long if they stay healthy. Wouldn't surprise me if they are around this price, but maybe never worse than that all season. Again, would be fair at like plus 625 though. And then in fourth, the Atlanta Dream are a pretty intriguing team. They were 35-1 last year. I took a flyer on them after their first couple of games. They just looked really good. They ended up improving from 15 wins to 30. Got bounced in the first round, but they brought back pretty much all of their top starters. Alicia Gray, Reen Howard, Brianna Jones, who will be out indefinitely from offseason surgery. They also added Angel Reese. Criticisms aside, the team that led league in boards added the top rebounder from last season. So that's certainly something to take note of. They're pretty close to their fair best price. If you can, or their best price of plus 650 is pretty close to fair for them. And then beyond that, it's kind of a toss-up of big long shots. You have 2 new teams, the Portland Fire and the Toronto Tempo. Toronto Tempo is kind of interesting here at 5th lowest, but that's just outside the top 8 cutoff for making the postseason. Valkyries were the expansion team last year, made the postseason, won their coach of the year. Did write an article on awards predictions, and I think that's worth a long shot. Is the Tempo's coach? She literally led the Liberty to a championship 2 years ago. Australian national team head coach, I believe, and she's like plus 900. And the 3 teams above are all championship expectation teams. So got the best, lowest bar to clear, so to speak. But you can read that article on site. I digress. But yeah, pretty much everything I would signal from the early season look at futures. Take a quick look at opening weekend here. Just take a look at the best bets because we do have a couple returning sweet spots from last season. Looks like the spread play is gone, so that value is probably dried up. But money line's really solid last year, 15.6% ROI across 69 bets at this edge range. Probably included a lot of favorites and a handful of good underdogs. I know we had some like Connecticut Sun 12-1 edges where they ended up winning in upsets, which would bolster that quite a bit. But I would caution, these are from last season, same model, but different teams and everything. So you kind of might want to see how things play out, see how those update and adapt to the early games of the season. And then real quick, I'll just look at all the best bets. There were a couple things that stood out to me. I really strongly recommend you dig into this. If you're listening and don't have Pro, if you get your free trial tomorrow, you'll have the first 72 hours of the season. So it's pretty good timing to do so. But where is it? This Dream, I like the Dream, -3.5 here. Really solid probability, 61.5%, double-digit edge, almost even money. You're also getting an edge on them on the money line at odds I wouldn't really play personally, but you are getting that. So you're getting the correlated edges here. They are playing the Lynx, who will be without their top star, Nafisa Collier, and they are a top 4 team from the model to win it all. Really solid probabilities here, should come out firing. I think that's a pretty good look on opening weekend. And then in props, some pretty cool stuff here at the top of the board. You got Angel Reese in her new home, projected to clear her rebounds line. I like that against the Lynx, who again will be without Nafisa Collier and 2 of their other top 3 rebounders from last season. So I don't know. I'm not saying go bet an Angel Reese ladder on the first game of the season, but the model likes her to get 14. It's over 12.5. This is a team again without their top 3 rebounders. Something to look at. And then kind of similar, she's still here, Camila Cardoso. This was actually 13.5 earlier, so you would have gotten a better line. But she was the Sky's second highest scorer last year. Now Angel Reese is gone. They've shaken up the roster a lot. They brought in players like Ricky Jackson, Natasha Cloud, Zura Stevens, who should all contribute pretty strongly scoring-wise. But Cardoso already made a jump from year 1 to year 2. She was a top pick for this team. Basically the only returning key player from last year. So probably a good spot. Again, a good probability in the model projecting her pretty well over that. But lots to dig into on here for opening weekend. Tons of bets, tons of props. I think there's 3 games each day. 4 games on Saturday, and that's as far as out as we have predictions for right now. But yeah, pretty solid start to the year. Looking forward to it. It'll be, regularly featured in content and stuff when we're back in action as well.
Love it. All right. Thank you, Dave. If you want to get into WNBA betting, nowhere better to do it than through dimers.com. As you can see, everything that you would get on the NBA side is available on the WNBA side. As Dave just mentioned, you can ladder player props and all that, find the edges, use the player projections just the way you do with any other sport. And put me down for the Atlanta Dream, by the way. I think they've got a clear identity here. And yeah, the addition of Angel Reese, it's not really a punchline of a joke at this point. She's emerging into the superstar that she was in college in this league. So not surprised they show some futures value there as well.